Okay, so had this video done. I had it edited and everything else, and now I'm forced to redo it. I'm displeased. Because one, I don't like feet. Two, I don't like feet. Three, I don't like feet. So, we're gonna do a Honey I Shrunk the Kids version called Tiny Enemy Tag. And I have all the questions here. So, Tiny Enemy Tag number 1. Okay, so if you found 20 of your enemies shrunken down to bug size in your room at night, explain how you would go around smashing them with under your bare feet. 1, second I get out of bed, my feet are not bare, I put slippers on. 2, if I saw 20 little freaking beings running around my damn bedroom in the middle of the night, I wouldn't be squishing them with my feet. I'd be getting out goddamn hairspray and a lighter. I'm gonna set the little motherfuckers on fire. Okay. 2, if you saw one of them walking below you right by your feet, would you squish them or let them get away? Could it be anybody I really don't like? Absolutely anybody I really, really don't like? Might have to do like a Mexican half dance around them. Make them kind of jump like a jelly bean. Void my shoes. Alright, number 3. If one was sitting in your favorite chair, would you sit on them? And how long would you stay sitting on them? Now, I notice this one goes from a him to a them. Well, anyways, if I found one of those little buggers sitting in my spot, I sure as hell wouldn't want to sit on them. I'm afraid they'd bite me and I'd catch something. Instead, I think I'd feed them to my bearded dragon. No, there's a rat race. Okay, number 4. What part of your feet would you use to squash them under and why? Hold your... Okay, so I backed up for this one. And I think I'm going to back my laptop up because I happen to be wearing the most awesome pair of freaking shoes I own. And as you can see, they have spikes on them. So, I don't know. I think I would toy with them for a little bit. You know, before I really step on them. I think I'd give them a false sensation that I'd squish them with my toe. Or the ball of my foot and really make them kind of stick between the heel and the ball of my foot. But if it came down to it, it's the heels, guys. This right here. Because in all honesty, you get that good on their toast. Now, as for the next question. What toe would you use to smash them under? Okay. Obviously, this has something to completely do with foot fetishes. And I am anti-foot. Completely. I accept my friends who are foot-friendly, and I love them dearly. But I am not squishing one of those little buggers under my frickin' toe. I don't care which one. And not even in between my toes. Ugh. People toe jam? Ugh. Ugh. That's like stepping on a frickin' worm by accident when you're playing in the rain. Ooh, ugh. Okay. If one of the shrunken men... Oh, here we go again. Fell into one of your shoes, what would you do? Well, considering 1, I have cats. 2, I have children. 3, my house is busy, 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 busy. So if I'm going to put on my favorite pair of shoes to go out or anything like that, I normally check to make sure there's no cat toys in my shoes. Because it's happened before. I stuck my foot in my shoe and there was a cat toy and it did not feel nice. So I would honestly have to say I'd shake out my shoe and then frickin' whack the fucker with the heel of my shoe. That's what I'd do. Don't be in my shoes. Okay. If one of the tiny guys got stuck between your toes, how would you squash them? Ugh. Again, people toe jam. Ugh. I think I'd kind of pin them down between my toes long enough for me to get something to squish them with. I wouldn't use my toes to squish them. It's just gross. Okay. What kind of bug would they remind you of stepping on them and why? I think because they don't have an exoskeleton, I honestly think it would be kind of like stepping on a cockroach. There'd be that initial crunch. Ugh. But at the same time, I wonder. Because we're all full of what we are, yeah, that initial squish, but you really have to kind of just like a cigarette butt. So that would mean more squishing. So maybe it'd be like squishing a spider just with a crunch. Ugh. Love the tag though, by the way, guys. Okay. Would you prefer to squish them barefoot or with shoes on? Again, I say shoes on. Because who in the hell wants to feel something on their barefoot squished? That is disgusting. It's like stepping in dog shit. No? Thank you. Now, as for the rest of these questions, guys. Would you enjoy having total power over your tiny enemies? What would be your favorite thing about having their little life at your disposal? Aww. How would I feel about having their little lives in my disposal to do as I please? No restrictions? Anything I want? Well, of course, my lizard does have things in her tank that make it easy for crickets to hide behind, so I think I'd honestly just stick them all in my lizard's tank with a very, 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 very thin piece of plastic that she can knock down and see how long it takes her to get to the other side to gobble them up one by going. I am not repeating that. Don't ask me to do it again. Alright. Okay. Would you keep one of them as a slave and make him rub your feet and clean between your toes? Ugh. No. If anything, I'd throw him in the toilet and tell him to swim. That would be more amusing than something with tiny little hands and... No, thank you. I don't even like touching my feet, thank you very much. Unless I have to wash them. And put socks and shoes on, and in all honesty, no. Okay. Let's say you see one of your tiny enemies fall into your friend's shoe and now she puts it on without socks. Would you tell her the tiny enemy was in her shoe? Or would you keep quiet and let them suffer under her hot, stinky toes? I wouldn't wish that upon any of my friends. At least not any of my female friends. Now, if it was my younger brother's shoes, his running shoes, oh, man, those things stink in the summertime. So if one of them happened to fall into his shoe, I wouldn't say a word. I'd let them suffocate in that putrid smell he calls his feet. Ugh. Okay. Would you make your bug-sized enemies worship you like a goddess? And how? Being treated like a goddess by tiny little people. Well, I'm not a goddess. I'm not a god. I don't have mystical powers. So, other than stepping on them, I really have not much fit over them for anything else. I honestly think, no. No, that's just horrible. But if they did, and I allowed it, I honestly think I'd keep them in a fish tank. So they couldn't run anywhere. And put heat lamps on top. That way it'd get really hot and be like a desert. Make them beg for water. Yep. And watch them kind of pawn at the glass. Like poor little stray bugs stuck in a cup with a little bit of water in it. Now that would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay. When you smash one of them, would you stomp or stomp and twist? If possible, demonstrate how you would stomp on them. Well, not gonna demonstrate, but I would just like to say the heel of my shoe and a cigarette butt. I think that's a pretty good idea of what I'd be doing to them. Get the toe, just the flat of the shoe, the ball, you get that good twist on there, but you can ground them down just a little bit harder if you use the heel of a shoe, especially high heels, especially my high heels. Let's say one of your tiny enemies is making fun of you from the ground, saying you have really stinky feet. How would you trap them under your giant bare foot and force them to smell your feet? If so, what part of the foot would you trap them under, and how long would you leave them there? I don't think I'd trap them under my foot. I think I'd take a plastic container with very little air holes and the dirtiest gym sock I could find at a gym with muscle meatheads, or maybe high school football players. Their stuff smells really bad. And I think I'd leave them in there for a week, depending on who it was. I can think of a few people. But, on with the questions. It's actually kind of funny, now that I'm getting to do it for a 4th time in a row. Okay. Let's say you find one of your tiny enemies trapped inside your toilet. Now your best friend offers you $8,000 to do your business on them. Then flush them down. Would you do it? Do you think the tiny guy would survive? Well, if it's a him, some men are like cockroaches, so you never know. Might be like Joe's apartment. They might survive it and go, sewer surfing. But I damn well wouldn't do my business on them, that's for damn sure. That's just disgusting. Why? Ugh, that's just horrible. Now put him in a dirty diaper and toss him down the river. That'd be kind of fun. Okay. If you were going away and suddenly you feel something in your sock and now realize your tiny enemy was careless enough to hide inside your sock before you put them on, now he's trapped inside your foot. Would you leave him inside all day? Well, that would just make it uncomfortable for walking everywhere because it'd be like a stone in your shoe. And you know, as soon as you get that feeling of a stone in your shoe, you start shaking your foot around a little bit, hoping to move it towards the toes where you can't feel it, or in the arch of your foot so you can't feel it. So you just get annoyed and just have to take the shoe off and dump them out. And if they're trapped inside your sock, that'd be even more uncomfortable. You know, they could bite you. Catch some sort of tiny enemy disease? Ugh, no, thank you. Ugh. There's enough shit out there that I'm afraid of as is. I don't want one of my freaking enemies biting my foot and getting infected and having to either take medicine or have it cut off. No. Take them out immediately and flick them somewhere where there's going to be big bugs to eat them. Maybe a nice spider web. This is not fair. You're bringing out the evil in me. Okay. If your best friend offered you $700 to take one of the shrunken enemies and throw them in your microwave, then turn it on for 3 minutes, would you do it? Can we put more than one on there and make it double or nothing and see who lasts longest? Because doing one this is not fun, and I'm pretty sure after the first minute and a half, something's liable to go. So, as long as it was more than one, and it was a double or nothing situation on which one would last longer, and it was between me and 3 friends, and each of us had our own tiny enemy, do a rat race in the microwave. Yeah. That's exactly what I would do. I wouldn't stick one of them in there. I'd stick 3. Maybe a few. It'd be kind of fun to see them running around on the inside while the plate's spinning around, making them dizzy. It'd be kind of interesting. Giving them false hope of hitting the stop button for a second and turning it back on. Yeah, I think that would be fun. Okay. Would you unleash your pet on your tiny enemies, and what would it do to them? Well, I have cats and I have a lizard, and I've already said I'd feed them to my lizard like crickets. Now with my cats, I've seen how they act with their toys, so I think I'd have a little fun. Dunk them in some catnip and then let my cats have at it, because my cats get a little vicious when it comes to last little bit of catnip on the floor. And if it's a running piece of catnip around the floor, I'm pretty sure those 2 would bat it all to hell. Which would be kind of amusing for a vlog. Now you got me thinking. This is not fair. They're supposed to be nice and sweet and, you know, horrible living dead girl from the graveyard next door. You're bringing out the witch in me. Okay, let's get on to these other questions, shall we? Oh, thank God. Last one. If someone offered you $1,500 to throw one of your tiny enemies in your mouth and swallow them whole. Swallow them whole? Are you out of your mind? Would you do it? No. Again, diseases. Don't know what they carry. Especially the ones that I know. Probably worse than trying to swallow a live goldfish, because they probably claw all the way down your neck. How long do you think the little guy would survive inside your belly? Describe what you think his last moments would be like if you swallowed him. Now, I know you guys enjoy the whole woman swallowing things. But this adorable woman is not swallowing anything that could possibly have a disease and could possibly make me sick and keep me away from my kids. I'd make somebody else do it. Now, considering the stomach acid and everything else, I believe their last moments would be, I'm melting. Oh, what a world this is. I don't think they'd have any time to even say that. I think they'd be too busy going, ah! So, there's your tiny enemy tag. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Because now it's got me thinking about a few things. I think I might draw it today. Who knows what I'll come up with. But anyways, guys, keep sending in your tags, your dares, your challenges, your questions. Ugh, I love it when you guys do this. And now that I have my ugly green laptop, I can start doing more again. Although, last week, 2 weeks, I haven't really needed to do What Boils My Cauldron Tuesday vlog. But I'm pretty sure I can find something for this week. And it might just involve feet. Anyways, guys, I'm your morbidly adorable, rotten kind, cute, living dead girl from the graveyard next door, saying sweet sorrows, pleasant nightmares, back kisses to you all. You guys all stay creepy. You all stay beautiful. And don't forget to hit me up on my fan page. And send in all your requests. Because I certainly have been enjoying them. Okay, guys. Love yous. Bye.